Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm going to be your host, The Sound, and today I am excited to bring a replay broadcast. Today we're going to be taking a look at Division D East. We'll be seeing last week's match between 30 Seconds to Mosh and Protectors of Shakuras. It is a best of 3. I do not know the results. So I'll get to find out alongside all of you at home a little bit of background on these two teams. 30 Seconds to Mosh were promoted. Last season they were in Division E, so they've made it up to Div D. This is their second time in the division across a number of different seasons. I think they started back in Season 11. And Protectors of Shakuras had a tough time last season in Div C, so they have been demoted down to D. They've retooled their roster a bit as well, so I'm sure they're excited to see what their new lineup can bring this season. We can take a look at our Battleground selection here. I do not have any sort of ban data, unfortunately, but I do know which Battlegrounds we will be headed to, and for map number 1, we are off to Alterac Pass. It's a battleground that can go quite late. It's one that allows for lots of different strategies. Split pushing is very effective. So I'll be interested to see how these teams prioritize and draft around those considerations. Without any further ado, let's get into the game and see how our teams fare. And we can introduce our teams. Here on the left in blue, we've got 30 Seconds to Mosh. Born to Shine playing Rhaegar, Chris on Johanna, Raka playing Sonya, the Captain on Greymane, and Hunter X playing Junkrat. To the right in red, Protectors of Shakuras, Johnny K.A. on Malfurion, the Boomer on Chromie, Aurum on Hogger, Dagny on Varian, and Cliff Sandwich playing Hanzo. Taking a look at our level 1 talents. Cliff Sandwich opting for simple geometry at level 1, looking to get those scatter arrows stacks as quickly as possible. And Dagny on Varian with the Lion's Maw, hoping to get additional slows on the Lion's Fang. We've also got Time Walker's Pursuit for Chromie, able to grant vision to the rest of their teammates. Interesting. Blow him up at level 1 for the Junkrat. Not what I'm accustomed to seeing, but Hunter X probably knows a thing or two about how the CDR will be useful to them. Level 1 and 30 Seconds to Mosh are right on time with their null camp. You can see Protectors of Shakuras are almost on time. A little bit slower, but the advantage that they have, of course, is that Aurum can take this mercenary camp all by themselves, whereas 30 Seconds to Mosh committed 3 different heroes, I think as many as 4, to get that out in a timely fashion. Aurum alone able to take care of business, which has freed Boomer and Cliff up to... Oh my gosh, and Cliff getting the first kill there. First blood going over to Protectors of Shakuras. Protectors of Shakuras are still a little weak pre-level 4 with Varian as their main tank, but that time is now over. We are likely going to see the taunt selected as the heroic for Varian here. And there it is. He pulls out the sword. And there's the boot over the wall. Hunter X will be able to defend this camp a little more safely. Lots of vision tools for Protectors of Shakuras between Malfurion Moonfire and the Chromie Time Walker's Pursuit. Dagny able to dodge that concussion mine. A lot of damage traded onto Chris there in mid lane. Checking in on the bot side, the Captain has taken a big chunk out of Boomer's HP. Raka trying to do the same here on the top side. And Born already back on the camp. Cliff and Johnny in range to do the same. And there are our first prison camps available for capture here on the top side of the map. We'll see if either team puts a heavy priority onto getting there in time. 30 Seconds to Mosh have great stall potential with Hunter X on Junkrat. They've already set up the Chattering Teeth Mine and Concussion Mine, or Chattering Teeth Trap and Concussion Mine there on the point. The Protectors of Shakuras have a lot that they'll have to sort through before they're able to get progress on that objective. A pretty heavy rotation here onto Aurum. They're able to escape without too much trouble. Chris, we can see marking those minions with their level 4 talent, Eternal Retaliation, offering cooldown reduction and instant minion kills to minions that have been marked with Chris's W. Level 7s on both sides here. There's the Purge on to Chris. Born taking a lot of damage now. We'll see if there's another taunt available, but it looks like Rhaegar's going to be able to make it out without too much trouble. Protectors of Shakuras a little bit ahead on the structure race here in mid lane. We can check in on bottom. Looks like Boomer has done a fair bit of damage here, but Hunter X is chasing them down with these concussion and frag grenades. Oh, one more auto might do it. They did not have it in the chamber, unfortunately. So a close call for Protectors of Shakuras. We are likely going to see Boomer head back to the Hall of Storms. We've got Cliff and Johnny back on this camp. Cliff, another great hero for grabbing these mercenary camps with their level 4 serrated arrowheads. It'll also give them a lot of potential HP burn on the bosses that we have on the battleground. Hunter X now taking advantage of their siege opportunities after pushing Boomer out of lane. Slight experience lead here in favor of Protectors of Shakuras. And I mean ever so slight. Both teams very diligently clearing these waves. The captain gets the loop. Chromie's big advantage, of course, is that she gets all of her talents 2 levels early, so her heroic is already online. And that's level 10 for the rest of Protectors of Shakuras. In addition to loop, we have Shockwave, Dragon's Arrow, Tranquility, and Varian has yet to select a level 10. There's the Shockwave. Johanna falls. There's the taunt as well. The captain falling low. They're invisible, but Dagny is able to chase them down. So all 3 takedowns thus far going over to Protectors of Shakuras. Hunter X is still alive, so they'll be able to get a few stalls here with their concussion mine and frag grenades. Boomer trying to put a little pressure here. There it is. There's the loop. Oh my gosh, and they try and rocket ride their way to safety, but in the end, the Chromie damage is a bit too much. Speaking of rocket ride and the rest of the heroics for 30 Seconds to Mosh, we've also got Ancestral, Blessed Shield, Leap, Cursed Bullet, and the aforementioned rocket ride. So a lot of objective progress going over to Protectors of Shakuras. There's the taunt onto Raka, which draws the cleanse. Purge is no longer available. The captain in deep gets the bullet onto Cliff. The dodge on the leap from Boomer with the timeout. Cliff leaping aggressively over the wall, and another 3 kills going over to Protectors of Shakuras. 30 Seconds to Mosh now falling about a full level behind here. And they will be available after their respawns for this defense, but mid-fort looks like it's in a lot of trouble. We'll see how Protectors of Shakuras look to split up and use this objective phase. Looks like a 4-hero commitment here in the mid lane. They really want to get this fort taken out. It is the most common defense point for both objective sides. A lot of heroics flying on both sides. Captain getting looped. Oh my gosh, a huge boop onto Dagny. Hunter X is trying to chase them down with the Captain. Did they opt for shield wall? Oh my gosh, excellent time trap usage from Boomer there. Dagny able to escape with just a sliver of HP. Checking in on the top side. Aurum is going to secure the rest of the fort there, but the rotation from 30 seconds to Mosh may put Hogger in danger. There's the leap. They do still have the unstoppable there. There's the Blessed Shield as well, and Aurum goes down. So 2 forts, 3 forts in fact, for Protectors of Shakuras after the first objective phase. And they're in a good position to start burning this bottom boss. Cliff has completed Simple Geometry, so they're able to put a lot of damage into these mercenary and monster targets. Looks like they are not going to risk it, with Aurum still waiting to respawn, opting instead just to set up the time trap, which has since died, it looks like. So they know that they're down here. Oh my gosh, there's the bullet. Loop onto the Captain, back under towers. An early ancestral Dagny might get caught by this trap here. They're able to escape. There's the Blessed Shield, however. They're trying to get these kills under... Oh my god, a Dragon's Arrow from downtown. Cliffs takes out the Rhaegar. Born caught in the root from Johnny K.A. and Cliff following up with a huge Dragon's Arrow. Very well played by Protectors of Shakuras. It is now 8 takedowns to 1 here in favor of the red team. "20 seconds before the objective spawns. We've got 30 seconds to Mosh on their camp here. They're pretty low, and they don't have a healer. It looks like the kill onto Raka in mid is more interesting to Protectors of Shakuras than the camp invade. Keeping those takedowns staggered. Definitely a good move for the away team. It's going to make 30 seconds to Mosh unable to contest this objective in the early going, but they're not giving the entire battleground away. They're staying in this game by transitioning to this top boss. I don't believe they've been scouted here, so it's a great play to make down a talent here. Speaking of, level 16 talents are online for Protectors of Shakuras. We've got Ysera's Gift, Banner of Stormwind, Piercing Arrows, Headbanger. So percentage damage now online for Aurum on the Hogger. And there it is, a fully uncontested objective. Both objectives going over to Protectors of Shakuras here in Game 1. We still have Hunter X pushing the top lane with the boss. They feel safe to do so with 4 of Protectors of Shakuras showing on the bottom side of the battleground. There's the loop, but in the end it doesn't net much. There's the shield into the leap. Lots of damage going on to Protectors of Shakuras. They have to pop the Tranquility, and a root to peel. Johnny K.A. keeps the team alive. Hunter X has joined the rest of 30 Seconds to Mosh, so it is 5v4 in favor of the home team. And they've done a great job clearing out the wave behind this general. Raka taunted under towers. They will go down. Dagny able to make it out with about 50% HP. So a lot of pressure going on to this bot keep. Protectors of Shakuras would love to get a avenue open to the core and take one of those armor plates off. Oh my gosh, the Cursed Bullet does so much damage to Dagny. The Captain, however, taking a lot of damage as well. Boomer applying so much pressure with the Dragon's Breath from Chromie. Top General still very healthy. They've got a decent-sized wave behind it. Protectors of Shakuras are going to pressure this mid-keep with their heroes, try and draw 36 to Mosh away from the top lane. Another Blessed Shield lands onto 2. Aram does still have the Unstoppable, so they're able to get out without too much trouble. Leap from Raka onto Boomer. Boomer pops the stasis, and Aram gets the headbanger into the wall. They'll trade Boomer for Chris. Born to Shine falling down below 200. Mounted archery from Cliff won't allow them to close the distance, however. So kills traded on both sides. The first, or the next 2 takedowns for a total of 3 for 36 Mosh. They're still trailing really far towards their Storm talents. We can see that is largely thanks to the hero experience deficit, but also the structure and passive experience deficit that they are up against. Level 20s nearing 4 Protectors of Shakuras. I don't think I went through any 16s that 30 Seconds to Mosh picked up. Johanna has scaled a fair bit here at level 16 with her Holy Renewal. She is now able to heal herself a great deal, as well as get cooldown reduction on her perhaps best damage spell in the form of Blind. The Captain eating a stun here, that may be something that they regret as, yeah, and Born is going to play it safe, pop the early Ancestral, and they'll steal away the boss before Storm Talents are online for Protectors of Shakuras. I would love to see 30 Seconds to Mosh come back, deal with this mid-keep, try and keep it alive for as long as possible, while Shakuras clean up this boss. Still about a level and a quarter of experience away from level 20 for the home team. And the next objective phase unlocking here on the top side of the map for Protectors of Shakuras. Looks like they're beelining towards top lane. The boss isn't available for another 30 seconds or so, 45 in fact. We've got Dagny and Johnny working on this mid-camp, which will help keep the pressure in their favor now that 30 Seconds to Mosh have done the same. Cliff able to clear out all the objective defenders. And a couple stalls here from Hunter X, but the threat of the Storm talent tier is a bit too great, especially with Raka down in bot lane trying to close that experience gap. So the first objectives channel will go in favor of Shakuras. Sonya still pushing away in the bot side. They'll get level 20 before this objective is done channeling. It'll be a very tight window to find a fight, however. Only 20 seconds left for Shakuras to channel. Chris taking so much damage. There's the Blessed Shield onto 3. Chris gets the Ancestral. Storm Shield popped for Born, I'm sorry, hero names. And the kill onto Aram there. A snap engagement with their level 20s in hand. 30 Seconds to Mosh are not out of this game yet, folks. They're going to be able to channel this objective here. I don't think Boomer's going to be in range for the interrupt. And once again, with how long it takes to channel this objective, Protectors of Shakuras will have the potential for one more fight. Oh my god, Chris taking so much damage there from Cliff Sandwich. A silence from the trap onto Dagny. Dagny's in a lot of trouble, but the Captain falls again, so Cliff and Boomer able to clean up a couple of kills. 4v5 there. Really well played by the side of Shakuras. We've got 2 different flavors of Storm Shield here, Elemental Conduit and Blinded by the Light. We've also got Raka opting for Composite Spear, increasing the range of her Q, Hunter's Blunderbuss for the captain, and Cannonballs for Junkrat. Anything else weird? Play of the game for Cliff, also of note. So I would love to see Cliff be the one to break off and deal with top lane, as they are global at this point in the game. Aurum being able to group up with the team more quickly could get them onto the mid keep a little bit quicker and threaten ending the game. Minor optimizations in the grand scheme of things. And they will have the general as well as the siege camp, so this armor shred does apply to the core. After this keep goes down, it's only got 20 armor left. So if the gnolls are able to auto-attack the core for any considerable time, that armor will continue to fall. There's the Ancestral, another kill onto the Captain. Cliff falling very low. They're able to escape with the play of the game. Core down below 50% HP, Raka in retreat, but that's going to end the game here in favor of Protectors of Shakuras. GG and well played to our away team. So a pretty dominant showing from Protectors of Shakuras there in game one. They're able to capture every objective, and I think the takedown count was heavily in their favor as well. We can check that over on the post-game stats. Yeah, we can see 16-4 in takedowns, and most of those takedowns actually were on the front line of 30 Seconds to Mosh. Both Chris and Raka having a really hard time into the poke from Chromie and Hanzo. Taking a look at our builds here, we had a trap build for Hunter X, slam build from Raka, opting for Nerves of Steel at 16 rather than Giant Slammer, trying to increase their survivability. Not too surprising, given how many times they were the target of Protectors of Shakuras' engagements. Yeah, nothing else out of the ordinary that I see. Mounted archery from Cliff at level 13. I definitely am a lot more accustomed to seeing Fleet of Foot, the movement speed on Stormbow, but mounted archery, definitely a good talent nonetheless. They're all move speed talents in some variety. Alright, so that'll do it for game one. Head back over to our battleground selection and get ready for game two. Worth noting, all of these games that I'm casting today are on last patch, not the current patch. Also, I believe my command in chat has not been updated to reflect the most recent patch. So that means that these games will not contain the nerfs for Genji or Samuro. Those are the two that stick out in my head as being touched by the last balance patch, but I know that there were plenty of other balance changes made. I would say refer to !patch, but unfortunately I've been remiss in updating my commands and links. Alright, game two, we're headed to Battlefield of Eternity. Excellent. So a very different flavor of Battleground compared to game one. Alterac Pass, known for its split pushing and long late game emphasis. Battlefield of Eternity, much tighter rotations, much more of an early game emphasis. The objective is all important on the Battleground. It is not one that you can really sacrifice or give and really expect to come out victorious. There's a lot of really tricky terrain and vents and bushes to play around, so vision play is of the utmost importance, as well as, with the objective being as important as it is, the DPS burn that you can apply to those mortals. Okie doke. That's all I can say for stalling, and that's all I need to say, because it looks like we've got our next replay up and available. So let's get into it. Game 2. We'll see if 30 Seconds to Mosh are able to secure their first game win of the season here in the upper division, or if Protectors of Shakuras will be able to close this out 2-0. Okie doke. Introducing the teams. Once again, on the left, we've got Born to Shine on Tyrande, Sub-Zero playing Vala, Raka on Blaze, the Captain playing Arthas, and Chris playing ETC. Very interesting. And to the right in red, we've got Protectors of Shakuras. The Boomer on Tassadar, Cliff Sandwich on Cassia, Aurum playing Malthael, Dagny on Anubarek, and Johnny K.A. on Brightwing. So a triple tank, triple frontline comp on the side of 30 Seconds to Mosh. They have all the beef in the world that they could hope for, get it? Because there's an ETC. To help protect this Creed of the Hunter Vala. Sub-Zero should feel very comfortable stepping up for these auto attack stacks. We've also got Boomer looking to stack some Shock Ray stacks. Block for the Captain. A very different flavor of hero from the Greymane. There's the stun onto Boomer. Chris doing a great job lurking out of vision. But the wave clear advantage definitely in favor of Protectors of Shakuras. Checking in on top lane a bit. Aurum definitely favored in lane against the Blaze. Of course, when we get to team fights, Blaze is able to assist their teammates if they get marked with last rites via Bunker. Bunker allows you to dodge last rites. Dagny taking so much damage from Sub-Zero, it will draw the phase shift from Johnny K.A. Sub-Zero not really taking much pressure before that. I really like the Cassia selection on the side of Protectors of Shakuras. It'll kind of mitigate some of the damage that Sub-Zero is able to put out thanks to her blind. The CC chain a little too strong on the side of 30 Seconds to Mosh, so they will secure first blood and likely this first mercenary camp here on the bottom side. Aurum doing a great job to freeze this lane, try and keep Raka from the experience as much as possible. And there is the bottom seed champ going over to 30 Seconds to Mosh. Protectors of Shakuras keeping busy themselves, getting this top side Shaman camp out. They feel safe to do so because Dagny can stall these pushes pretty well with their trait beetles. Level 4s on both sides. Everlasting Light for the Tyrande. Different target heals 80% more. Interesting. Okay. I am a lot more used to seeing Alun's Chosen at level 4. And here's a heavy rotation to the top side. Aurum in a bit of trouble. They've opted for W at level 1. They're able to get one. Johnny K.A. gets the phase shift in time, and now Aurum is able to heal for a great deal into all of these beefy HP pools thanks to their Reaper's Mark trait. Alright, an absolute excellent phase shift from Johnny K.A. saves Aurum from the heavy gank. It's going to give Protectors of Shakuras room to get some burn on their Immortal and clear on the bottom side. Chris taking a lot of damage here. Walled out, and there's the kill. A double stun, however, lands onto the backside and will take out Boomer. Johnny K.A. being peppered down by Sub-Zero. In the end, it's 2 for 1. Going over 2:30 seconds to Mosh. Make it 3 for 1. And the first quest reward of Creed of the Hunter goes over to Sub-Zero. That's at the 50 stack mark. They now receive an extra % of damage on their auto attacks from Hatred. We can see Born to Shine marking Belith with the Hunter's Mark. This is one of the reasons why Tyrande can be so good on this battleground. Able to speed up the burn that your team can do on the Immortal. Level 7s on both sides. Frost Shot is the choice for Sub-Zero rather than Monster Hunter. Bit of a surprise, if I'm being honest. And it looks like Protectors of Shakuras are trying to burn, while 30 seconds to Mosh are happy to look for the kills. Raka gets the stun onto 3. Sub-Zero on the back onto Johnny K.A. Completely unmolested here by the rest of the Protectors of Shakuras. Raka will fall. Sub-Zero once again in the back line onto Aurum. Will get a second kill. Raka has fallen. Dagny falling low here. There's the stun to peel for themselves, and Boomer gets the last couple of bits of damage required. 2 auto attacks. I have to think that if they were able to keep walking, that they would have escaped. Chris opting for Crowd Surfer level 4 rather than Speed Metal. Alright, first objective going over to Protectors of Shakuras, much like last game. And it looks like they're going to split up their pressure with Cliff and the Immortal down here in bot lane, and Dagny, Aurum, and Johnny up here on the top side, trying to get things done with the Trait Beetles. Raka taking a lot of damage once again. A great force wall. Chris peels with a slide, but it will spell their doom. ETC goes down. Third takedown for Protectors of Shakuras. And so they're able to get through about half of the bottom fort, as well as all of the top fort wall. Raka has taken a lot of damage here. And with just Born rotating up, I don't know how much they're going to be able to withstand this push. Protectors of Shakuras happy to stop the push there and instead get onto this top siege camp. Bottom siege camp going over to 30 seconds to Mosh. Cliff is here to clean it up. And that's Heroics online for 30 seconds to Mosh. It's Shadowstalk for Tyrande, Rain of Vengeance for Vala, Bunker for Blaze, Syndragosa. Then there's the Mosh onto 2. Lots of damage. Syndragosa locks down the structures here. Another slide onto Dagny. I don't know if they've got the burrow charge. They do. So they're able to escape. I would love to see 30 seconds to Mosh stay here and take advantage of these shutdown structures. It lasts for a really long time. So they could have, I think, pretty easily taken out that front wall of top fort, opting instead to get this bot side shaman camp out ahead of the objective, spawning here in the next 5 seconds. Protectors of Shakuras will be able to get their camp out as well, and they are defensive mortal spawns. Both sides have their heroics online now. It's Valkyrie? Ooh. Black Hole, Last Rites, Cocoon, and Blink Heal. Chris has not been scouted in this bush, but with Vala still walking back from the Hall of Storms, I don't think there's any real threat of an engagement from the ETC. Raka showing in top lane and Aurum showing in bot. We'll see if either team opts for a 4v4, very tight on experience. Most of the hero takedown XP definitely favoring 30 seconds to Mosh, but the minion XP heavily in Protectors of Shakuras' favor, which is keeping them neck and neck. There's the rotation up towards top. Dagny looking for the experience. With the Anubarak showing in top lane, I'm a little surprised that 30 seconds to Mosh didn't take the opportunity to engage. Protectors of Shakuras do have the better poke composition with both Boomer and, strangely enough, Aurum, thanks to their level 4 talent throwing shade. It applies Reaper's Mark at a great range, a relatively low cooldown, and takes an instant 2% HP off any target it hits. And we can see them doing just that, applying that poke damage. 30 seconds to Mosh are doing what they can to find an engagement on the side lane. We've got Raka showing in bot lane once again, trying to close the gap to level 13. They're about a half level away, and Protectors of Shakuras are more than a level away, just one now. So I think this slow play is favoring 30 seconds to Mosh. Chris unable to catch Aurum with the slide there. They would love to get Sub-Zero in range of this Immortal to start racing down. Any deaths? No deaths on the Vala, so still full attack speed available to the Demon Hunter. Raka once again getting that side soak. I love 30 seconds to Mosh approach here, making sure that they can get these level 13s online and then get aggressive onto the right side Immortal. And there it is, the green light immediately slid onto Dagny. There's the follow-up stun from Raka. A huge slow, but I think Dagny's going to make it out alive. The captain was unable to make it in time to get that permanent slow onto the Anubarak. 30 seconds to Mosh will take the opportunity to secure the halftime show for themselves, but I'm sure they would have loved to get a few more kills there ahead of time. Level 13s on both sides here. We've got Shadow Walk or Boomer on the Tassadar. Protected Fend, Ward Matron for Cliff Sandwich. And it's an all-out race here. Chris slides onto 2. Dagny in a lot of trouble now. Chris finds themselves in a tough spot as well. The Cocoon going onto Vala, and there is no damage for Protectors of Shakuras to fear. Dagny falling low, but Sub-Zero is the target. 2 kills going in favor of Protectors of Shakuras now. Captain trying as hard as they can to finish off the race here, but I don't think they're going to make it. Belith getting the last hit there. Cliff Sandwich trying to get the Valkyrie onto Born, attempting that last hit with the Q on the structure, but Born is able to squeak out of there alive. Dagny very low HP here. Raka and Born could take out the Anubarak if they're not lucky. Instead, Raka's going to focus more on the Immortal Burn, and I think that's going to be the end of our Fire Bat as well. They had the bunker, but they didn't want to commit it. I think that's the right call, given that its cooldown is greater than the death timer. Alright, a full level lead in favor of Protectors of Shakuras now. They've evened up and in fact surpassed 30 seconds to Mosh on the hero experience, and their minion XP lead is also ahead of 30 seconds to Mosh. Although a powerful objective, Protectors of Shakuras weren't able to get a very healthy objective. There's the Syndragosa, the captain doing what they can to get their Vala out of dodge. There's the slide onto Cliff, a lot of damage onto the Vala. With no armor, she is a lot less tanky. Sub-Zero down below 50% HP, and Belith wailing away on this top keep. So top keep may go down nonetheless. 30 seconds to Mosh able to finish off the defense before losing their keep. Lots of pings going out onto the top camp. It looks like they were calls to retreat for Protectors of Shakuras. Shakuras now have level 16 talents available to them. We've got Martial Law available to Cassia. Basic attacks against enemy heroes deal bonus damage equaling 1% of their maximum health. That bonus is, of course, increased if they are CC'd. Malthael also getting additional percent damage with Mortality. That pairs very well with the level 7 Massacre. Every W application, including the AoE applications of Massacre, now doing 8% of a hero's maximum HP, and all of this max HP damage, percentage damage that Protectors of Shakuras are racking up makes a lot of sense into this triple front line that 30 Seconds to Mosh are running. They've got their level 16s online as well. Aram looking for some additional damage. Chris has Mosh in 10 seconds or so. The captain taking so much damage. The last hit from Last Rites will do it. Boomer running ahead. Do they have another force wall? They get a slow onto Sub-Zero here, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to catch the rest of 30 Seconds to Mosh. A final Q from Boomer will finish off the top keep, increasing their passive experience gain as well as the catapult pressure in that lane. 30 Seconds to Mosh will have an even talent tier fight here on the next objective phase. It's a big power spike for Vala, unlocking Manticore. We've also got Embrace Death, a pretty interesting cheap Death E talent, healing for more as Arthas is lower on HP. A lightning fast halftime going over to Protectors of Shakuras. They've got a lot of pressure mounting in top lane as well. I would love to see them play slow here and let the map kind of force 30 Seconds to Mosh to split up. "30 Seconds to Mosh really need to find this engagement here if they want to get a fight before their core takes a lot of damage. There is the Mosh onto 2. Johnny is able to interrupt immediately with the... Oh my god, the Last Rites too! Aram sneaks out with sub 200 HP. Raka has to Hearth. It's 2 catapults, one of which is hitting this mid tower. Blizzard, come on, fix the game. Please, please, please. Of course, that core damage matters, but it's more significant in that it gets the Protectors of Shakuras a free reign on this Immortal. They're going to be able to clean up the rest of this objective phase and a very healthy shield on this Immortal, above 50% of the potential HP available. They're still a ways off from the Storm talent tier, so if 30 Seconds to Mosh is able to find a good engagement here, they could look to fight past. This is far from an official GG, but it's tough for Sub-Zero to get in range to start burning down this Immortal HP. They feel very threatened by Dagny and friends on the side of Protectors of Shakuras. Mosh still over 30 seconds away. There's the stun onto Aurum, and Dagny doing a great job to pick Vala as their target for all of these web wraps. Chris falling low. Last Rites is available. Wave still supporting this relatively healthy Protector. We'll see if Protectors of Shakuras are comfortable sticking around looking for the fight. The captain rips the Syndragosa and will die to the Last Rites. Unfortunately, the bunker a little too slow. A huge Mosh lands onto 3. Will there be an interrupt? Cliff. Oh my god, the Protected saves them for a half second, and that's long enough for the Immortal to finish it off. A 2-game series in the end going in favor of Protectors of Shakuras. And it looked like they were pretty comfortable on both battlegrounds. If I'm being honest, I thought that they performed quite well. of course, 30 Seconds to Mosh. This is their first game in Division D in a bit. Oh, Raka, you're right. The score does say 0-0. But how about now? Now it says 2-0. So there you go. 2-0 in favor of Protectors of Shakuras. 30 Seconds to Mosh. This is their first showing in Division D in a couple of seasons. And it looks like they've got a little bit more to work on. Of course, Protectors of Shakuras coming down from the division above may in fact be one of the stronger teams in the division. It's still much too early in the season to tell. Let's take a look at our post-game stats here. And those are builds, not stats. Hey, so of course Vala top of her team by a large margin, but Boomer in the end top of the lobby with 57, almost 58,000 hero damage. Raka did a fantastic job trying to keep the team in the experience hunt towards Storm Talents, but all of the structure damage and early kill experience that Protectors of Shakuras were able to secure kind of snowballed it in their favor. Checking in on our builds. Sub-Zero was able to get 3 stacks of the Creed of the Hunter quest at level 1. So able to put out a fair bit of damage, especially with Manticore at 16. But the front line around her was unable to weather the storm of all of the percent damage that Protectors of Shakuras had to bear. Tassadar's level 16, Cassia's level 16, Malthael's level 16 and 4, and baseline trait. So they were able to put so much pressure on the front line, making it very difficult for 30 Seconds to Mosh to persevere, in spite of some fantastic mosh pits from Chris on the ETC. So that'll do it for our series. Very well played to our home and away teams. Lots of fun to see how they matched up against one another. And that'll do it today for the stream. Quick shout out to everyone who has tuned in to watch, both here on Twitch and on YouTube. I know these teams really support you, really enjoy your support and cheering them on, so feel free to comment and chat and let everyone know what your favorite plays were. I'd also love to give a huge shout out to the volunteer staff of NGS. We wouldn't have a league to participate in without all their hard work. And last but not least, all of the artists, musicians, and programmers whose work I feature here on the stream. It wouldn't look or sound good at all without their contributions. So please be free to check out their work. We've got links to all of their stuff in the description below, as well as in a credit rule here as I finish up. There are games tonight, so if you're hankering for more Heroes of the Storm, feel free to tune in. We've got a couple of those going in the ticker that you might find interesting. And until next time, good luck and have fun. Peace and love.